I got the lovely, the legendary Jaci Velasquez with me.
What's up?
Over what? 2 million albums sold, right?
Yes.
I had to put that out. I had to put that out there. Over 2 million sold for the record. So people be like, who's that? Nah, man, she's like our Celine Dion in the Christian world. That's what she is. She's our Beyonce in the Christian world. But speaking of that, let everybody know how you started singing.
Well, I started traveling with my parents when I was 9 years old. My dad was a pastor prior to that.
Oh, really?
And yes, he was a pastor. So, but he just felt like he wanted to start traveling and go basically become an evangelist, which just means like a traveling pastor that kind of gives a pastor of a church the Sunday morning off so that he preaches in place of them. So we started traveling and I was 9. So I was homeschooled in the backseat of a car. So that was,
Trying to do your homework in the backseat.
Yeah, it's like, it was not easy.
Dad, watch out for the speed bumps.
Right. So my penmanship is still poor, real bad. So we were traveling, going from, state to state, city to city, and church to church to church. And by the time when I was 13, somebody heard me sing for the National Day of Prayer in Houston, Texas. And they sent a videotape back to Nashville.
And that's where you was born, in Houston?
I was born in Houston, born and raised in Houston.
H-Town.
So, yes, very much.
Sorry, that's what rappers do, H-Town. She was like, what's he doing?
I'm like I don't know what that means.
What gang sign is that? No, this means H-Town. The rappers do it, so. Like, H-Town, okay.
So, H-Town, I guess, what do you do again?
The H, that's the 2 H's.
Oh.
And then the H in the middle.
See, you learn something new every day. I love this. Okay, so they sent a videotape back to Nashville. Who became my manager, he saw the videotape, and they asked us to come to Nashville, and I got a record deal when I was 14.
Wow, just like that.
Yeah, because thank God. I mean, it was a gift from God for sure, but yeah, I was 14, got my record deal, and I started recording my first record, which was called Heavenly Place, when I was 15. Classic. And it came out when I was 16.
What did your dad say? I'm sure he was thrilled.
Oh, yeah. My parents were, of course, so proud and so thrilled. But, we had to kind of, at that time, we were kind of homeless. We lived in our motorhome because we were traveling so much. So when I got my record deal, we actually got a place here. And I remember thinking, wow, I have a bedroom instead of living in our motorhome. So,
but I wouldn't call it homeless because your dad was chasing the dream or the grind.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm sure y'all would have had a house if he didn't want to be a traveling pastor.
Yeah.
So I always feel like, I wouldn't call it homeless. I would just say, oh, he was on the grind.
Yeah, on the grind. H-Town and on the grind. I love it.
Yo, Jackie better come out with a rap album like.
Can you imagine? Oh my goodness, Mike, I have to tell you something.
What?
So oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. So I did when I was 12. My husband's going to laugh at me for telling you this. When I was 12 years old, I did a record it was a custom record. So we would sell them at churches when we were traveling as a family. When I was 12, I recorded a rap song with my dad.
About it. You got bars? Do you remember it?
Yes.
Can you want to spit it for us?
Oh my gosh.
Real quick, Jackie got bars.
Okay. This is so embarrassing.
You need a beat or just a cappella?
No, I don't know if I could even keep it to a beat. My rhythm is so bad.
Okay.
Okay, it was early in the morning, rising from my sleep.
Okay.
I can't do it.
You got one line now.
So embarrassing.
I want to hear it.
And so it was funny because my dad and I had to rap together. So it was like, and my dad, he's like old. And
old
so
school.
No, old. No, he so I had to, I can't remember how the rest of it goes, but early in the morning, rising from my sleep, I asked the God, oh my soul, to keep never realizing that my
Okay,
I'm done. That's it.
Bars, Jackie got bars, people. Smack. H-Town, baby. Yo, Trey the Truth. You gotta sign
So
her.
it's actually on a record that you could probably find on the internet somewhere on YouTube, and the song is actually called "Time Keeps Moving." Yes. So if you ever want to hear me rap, it's
On YouTube.
bad. I showed my kids one time. They were like, "Mom, what is wrong with you?" I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to show that to anybody else." And I just told the whole world about it now. Okay.
No, but if you want to check her out, we out here, baby. H-Town, Jay got bars. But so you started, you signed your deal, and then from there, I'm assuming the plans changed.
Well,
Like your dad stopped traveling.
Yeah, they stopped traveling.
Focused on your music career.
Yeah, so I then went on tour with Heavenly Place when I was 16, and I was opening for a group called For Him. So that was fun, and then that record kind of every single that they released for my record went #1. So it was like, wow, everything started happening really, really fast.
Especially your age.
Yeah.
I'm sure your eyes was big and like your eyes was big and just.
I felt like Cinderella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 18, because I had to re-sign my deal because I was of age. My parents had to sign my record deal initially.
Fact.
So when I turned 18, I started making my second record, which was just a self-titled record, Jaci Velasquez. But at the same time, Sony Discos contacted me. Sony Discos. So I signed a record deal with them and with and then I re-signed my deal with Word. So Sony Discos, and I recorded my first record with them, which was called Llegar a Ti.
What year was this?
That was 98.
So
So at that time when I signed that deal, I was making record after record each year. I was making either an English record or a Spanish record. So that was a crazy time because everything was happening so fast. It was so like a blur to me because I was constantly going, and I was like, am I speaking Spanish today or am I speaking English? What am I doing? So,
and were all your songs at that moment Christian or secular? Or?
Yeah, my music has always tried. I've always tried to push towards the truth, and the truth that God is love and God is always there for us, and we can always count on Him. So some of the songs were more inspirational. Some of them were, extremely like De Creer en Ti was about being in front of God, and I believe in Him no matter what. So, but yes, all my music has always been about encouraging people and pointing them towards truth, and that is the love of Jesus.
That's dope. It's funny because I showed my friend, my man Danny behind the camera, one of your songs, because I wanted to let him know who he was going to interview, and he was like, "It sounds like she's talking about breakups and boyfriends," but I'm like, "No, she's talking about like a boyfriend, but I think she's referring to God."
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
like imagine me. I showed him, imagine me without you.
Right,
so
right.
When you said, imagine me without you, I can't breathe, I can't live. Like, I don't think she's talking about a guy. I think she's talking about Jesus.
Yeah, about God. Yeah.
So in a way,
and some people can, and people can take it however they want. But I know what I was saying about. I know what I'm saying about. But what's interesting is on my second Spanish record, which was called Mi Corazón, I actually wrote it. I mean, I didn't write the song. Let me take that back. But I did a song that was about my parents' divorce, and it was called Como se cura una herida. So, thank you. But that was not about necessarily God, but it was about the pain of a breakup and watching my parents go through that. But what it taught me was that we can put our faith and our trust in relationship on this earth. But the only thing that we can truly count on is the love of God. So
facts. And it's crazy you say that because that's me and my dad's favorite song.
Really?
And whenever he puts it on, I don't know if he forgets that he already explained it to me, but he explains, oh, this song came from her parents divorcing?
Yeah.
My dad for the 100th time. Like, no, you told me this.
Yeah.
Nah, but he was like, it's crazy how she put her emotions in a song, and it's crazy how she went through that. I'm like, yeah, it's true.
It was a rough time. I mean, and what's interesting when I hear of like couples and marriages splitting, and it affects the kids forever. Like it's not something that just one and done. It's kind of like it affects Christmas. It affects Thanksgiving for the years and years to come. So it's hard.
You to this day?
Oh goodness, yeah. There are times when I'm like, should I spend can I invite my dad for Thanksgiving? Was that going to be weird? And it's been 20 years. or how many years has it been? Yeah, 23 years since they got divorced. So.
Did they ever get remarried?
Oh, yes.
Both of them?
Yeah, they're both remarried.
I'm sure that was tough too, right?
Well, sometimes it was harder for me when my dad got remarried because, it's another female in the room.
Exactly.
And also, he has other kids, like stepkids, and I'm going, and I want them all to myself. But of course, I understand I have to share them. And,
did you go to the wedding?
No, they didn't have a wedding. It was like destination wedding thing. So.
Yeah, I'm asking you because I went to like a similar situation, and I was just stubborn at the time. And now that I'm mature, I probably would have went, but I didn't go. So I didn't go to my dad's wedding.
It kind of feels like you're what's that word when you're like choosing one over the other. And, you don't want to do that.
And it's like one of those, you're not my mom. Like, well, you're not my dad. So it's like, I didn't go.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, but now that I think back, I would have went just,
just to support.
Support, because, like you said, my dad didn't have a big wedding. He had something small.
Yeah.
Because of the situation. But I would have went. Now thinking back, I would have went, but at that time you're young, you're awesome. I don't care. I'm not.
You're stubborn.
Yeah,
and proud,
not
right?
My mom.
Yeah.
She's not gonna run my life.
Right.
So I didn't go, and that's why I was asking if you went, but looks like we both didn't go.
we didn't go.
Yeah, we didn't
We're bad people.
Yeah, right. And it's also too because as growing up in a Christian family, divorce is like a big no.
Oh, I know, especially amongst Hispanic Assemblies of God people, because it's like. You just don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. But this is, in this day and age, thank God for grace. Thank God he has enough grace and it's sufficient for us. But it's like in this day and age, it's just become, normal and it's just not supposed to be that way.
Exactly.
So.
But now that it happened, it's like you got to deal with it. Now all you could do is just ask God for strength. You
have to extend grace because we're given grace so freely. We also have to extend it to others, and sometimes that's not easy. But we have to do that because we're so undeserving of it ourselves.
Exactly. And at one point, I've read that you went through a divorce as well, right?
Yeah, I did. When
in 2003.
In 2003. So, well, no, I got married to the guy in 2003. So I always say I accidentally got married and intentionally divorced. So when in 2003 I married somebody, and then about a year and a few months later we got divorced. And he was a great guy. He just wasn't my guy.
You're not your type.
No, just not mine.
That happens, Well, I'm sure now that you was going through it, did you understand your parents more?
Yes, I did, but I think because I didn't have kids with the guy, it was like it was.
And the years wasn't longer.
Yeah, it was just a year and a few months. It was more like a live-in boyfriend kind of a thing. But and that sounds terrible, but that's kind of how it felt.
Well,
so yeah, so but it helped me have more grace, yes, for my parents and what they went through, and just how much it affects so many people. So.
Well, it's good that you learn a lesson from it. Some people to this day still hold that grudge.
I know.
And they don't. I know friends that they don't talk to their mom because of it, or they don't talk to their dad.
And life is too short.
Mm-hmm.
Life is too short.
I think that phrase is the only phrase that helped me get over that situation.
Yeah.
That made me go, you know what? Life is too short. Let me go to the Christmas. Let me go to Thanksgiving. Let me go hang out with them. Let me, and it got to a point where it's like, okay, now it doesn't bother me no more.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have people at church be like, hey, they point at my stepmom. Before I couldn't even say stepmom, but now
really?
they were pointing at my stepmom and like, y'all good? I'm like, yeah, we good now, bro. Before it's funny, like 11 years ago, I was like, nah, man, don't talk to me about him, man. I was wild, man. But there's all maturity and life is too short.
Life is too short.
I mean, she makes my dad happy, and I just want to see my dad happy for the remainder of his life,
Right.
Life is too short.
How old's your dad?
He's 50.
Okay, my dad is 81.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have an older
kicking?
dad. Yeah, he is. He looks fantastic, and he still acts super young. But yeah, my dad's 81.
Oh.
And his wife that he's married to now, I think they've been married for 5 years,
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. So, and he lives in Dallas, Texas now.
Oh, Dallas?
Hmm. So, but he has a good relationship with my kids, so that's always fun.
Well, that's good. That's the most important part.
Hmm.
That's
true.
crazy.